Sherwin Williams has announced the color of the year 2023, and it's extremely charming, bold, romantic, warm and cozy. Some have perceived this color to be slightly blush, whereas some call it rose gold. If you check it online, you're quite likely to see that the color is often also termed as a clay color or even terracotta. Well, I'm going to reveal what I personally want to call this color slightly later. Before that, let's discuss where this color takes utmost inspiration from. Well, keeping in mind the sands of the desert and the hues of this nature, this color is all about creating a warm, cozy, welcoming and a very earthy feel in a space. Speaking of earthy colors, we all know that this color category has gained immense momentum all across the interior design industry. Well, talking about Sherwin Williams announced its color of the year 2022 to be evergreen fog, which is apparently one of the hues of nature. Again, dating back 1 year, Sherwin Williams announced its color of the year 2021 to be urbane bronze, which is another earthy paint color. The most beautiful character of these earthy paint colors is that they bring you much closer to nature and they make your space really feel welcoming and warm. Well, I personally love the feel of this paint color and I can't wait to share some insights about this paint color with you. Hi everyone, this is Nisha from Nish Online Interior Design, Paint Color Consultation and Home Decor Content Writing. Today we'll be discussing a paint color so calm and natural, earthy and energetic, Sherwin Williams Color of the Year 2023, Redend Point. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, do that because I have one video coming out every Monday dedicating to paint colors and interior decoration advice. So, what color is Sherwin Williams Redend Point? Well, now that we know that some people align this color with the pink and beige family, whereas some colors align this paint color with this terracotta and clay family. But is that actually true? Well, I'm going to make it slightly easier for you. Sherwin Williams Redend Point is a red paint color with deep grey and beige undertones. It's naturally muted and subdued and doesn't feel very stark as compared to the terracotta paint colors or the rust paint colors. Well, I would say that Redend Point is definitely not a terracotta color because it doesn't have any orange undertones and it definitely is not a mauve. Yes, trust me, this color has also been termed as mauve. Another way I would like to address Sherwin Williams Redend Point would be beige. So beige is basically a blend of pink and beige that makes the color further subdued, muted and quite subtle at all times. Now that we know what exactly Sherwin Williams Redend Point is and the undertones, let's discuss what the LRV is. Well, LRV stands for light reflectance value, which ranges somewhere between 0 to 100 for every paint color. For Redend Point specifically, the LRV is 30 and it clearly means that the color somewhere falls at the medium to medium darker end of the scale. This color holds immense depth and character to it. So even in a room with excessive natural light, this color is bound to retain its character. However, in a room with very minimal natural light, this color can also appear very dark and dingy. So I highly recommend that you choose this paint color, especially on all the walls where there's ample natural light pouring in. A lot of neutral paint colors like Sherwin Williams Redend Point tend to have a deep grey undertone which tends to fade away when there's excessive natural light in the room. But in the case of Sherwin Williams Redend Point, you need not worry because this color is bound to sustain its character and depth even with excessive natural light, even if it's a south-facing room or a north-facing room. In larger rooms, you can actually consider painting all your walls in this specific paint color. Whereas in the smaller rooms, you wouldn't want to take the risk and you can actually paint an accent wall or probably a wainscoting or a wall paneling in this specific color and let the remaining walls be pure white. Homeowners are often confused about how this paint color may end up looking like in their spaces. For instance, there are a lot of homeowners who wonder if this color is actually warm or cool. which Sherwin Williams Redend Point is definitely a very warm tone paint color. The obvious undertones of pink, beige and grey in the red paint color define how warm this color can appear in any lighting condition and in any compass directions. Trust me, it's nowhere too cool, but at the same time, you can actually use this paint color in cooler toned color palettes as well. You have to wait a bit for that because I'm going to be disclosing my pre-packaged color palette slightly later in the video. Many homeowners often wonder if Redend Point actually looks terracotta. Well, precisely, it's not a terracotta paint color. Even though it may end up looking like one under certain lighting conditions, which is not quite likely, but at the same time, all in all, Sherwin Williams Redend Point does not look terracotta. Terracotta paint colors mainly have an orange or burnt sienna undertones to them, which Redend Point lacks in. Another very common query amongst homeowners is if Sherwin Williams Redend Point appears pink or blush. Well, I would say yes. Personally to me, Sherwin Williams Redend Point is a deep red paint color with pink, beige and grey undertones. So even if you see a very slight touch of pink or blush in this color, it's probably a yes. So don't be surprised if you do, because Sherwin Williams Redend Point has the potential to appear slightly pink or blush, a very earthy form of blush under certain lighting conditions. Like I said, I generally term this paint color as beige. Secondly, if you're looking for a beige paint color with deep pink undertones, you are definitely going to love what Sherwin Williams Redend Point has to offer. Wondering how to use Sherwin Williams Redend Point in your home? Well, this color can be quite controversial because it doesn't easily blend with a lot of paint colors out there. For instance, beiges, greys, off-whites are much easier to complement in a whole house color scheme as compared to this specific beige paint color. Unless you're looking to make a very bold, dramatic and full of romantic character in your home, don't use this paint color on all the walls. If you have ample square footage and ample natural light, this color is definitely a yes. But if you have very limited square footage and a very limited natural light entering, I would say that you should only use this paint color as an accent. Personally, to me, more as a base or neutral, you should use this color as an accent in your homes. To name a few, Sherwin Williams Redend Point can be used on the laundry cabinets, the kitchen cabinets, the mudroom cabinets, the bathroom walls, bedroom accent walls, focal furniture, ceiling. Now let's see what colors best complement Sherwin Williams Redend Point. Well, Sherwin Williams Redend Point can be beautifully used in either warmer or cooler toned color palettes. In a warmer toned color palette, this paint color will further advance the warmer and cozier appeal of a house. Whereas in the cooler tone color palettes, this warm and earthy color will juxtapose with the cool tone colors in creating a very striking sense of contrast in the room. You can best complement Sherwin Williams Redend Point with creamy whites, darker greens, sage greens, teal blues, bronze and darker charcoal greys, black, beiges and very lighter tones of pinks. Looking to know the exact paint color names? Well, let's have a look. Sherwin Williams whites and off-whites that go with Sherwin Williams Redend Point are pure white, high reflective white, snowbound, alabaster, modest white. Here's a list of Sherwin Williams greys that go with Sherwin Williams Redend Point. Passive, Fleuricel, light French grey. A list of Sherwin Williams greens that go with Sherwin Williams Redend Point are evergreen fog, jasper, filmy green. Now here's a list of beige and browns that play phenomenal with Sherwin Williams Redend Point. Accessible beige, urban bronze, amazing grey. Now here's a list of Sherwin Williams blues that go with Sherwin Williams Redend Point. Seaworthy, charcoal blue, trade wind. And lastly, do check out a list of the Sherwin Williams pink, blush and dusty rose that go with Sherwin Williams Redend Point. I personally love malted milk, polite white and marshmallow. Now let's talk about some Sherwin Williams Redend Point similar paint colors. So if you're confused about the pink beige undertone or the certain appearance of Redend Point, you always have the opportunity to look for other similar paint colors. Like for instance, today I'm going to give you an example of 3 paint colors that share a ton of similarity as well as differences with Redend Point. My first option would be Hushed Auburn, Sherwin Williams 9080. Well, Sherwin Williams Hushed Auburn is a much rosier pink version of Redend Point. So if you're looking for a paint color that has a dominant pink and a much rosier version as compared to the subtle beige of Redend Point, then you must choose Hushed Auburn over Sherwin Williams Redend Point. This color has an LRV of 26, which means it's 1 or probably 2 tones darker than Sherwin Williams Redend Point, which stands somewhere around 30. Another similar paint color on my list is Velvety Chestnut. So Velvety Chestnut has a mauve touch to it. It's not rosy pinky, and at the same time it doesn't have a much beige or brown undertone. But Velvety Chestnut, if you observe it closely, you're quite likely to detect a slightly mauve undertone. So if you're fond of the mauves, you know what color you want. Another similar paint color, and yet not very similar, is Cavern Clay. So Sherwin Williams Cavern Clay is a rich, warm and earthy terracotta paint color with deep orange undertones. So if you're actually looking for an earthy paint color that has a touch of earthiness to it with a deep and dark terracotta or let's say orange or burnt sienna undertones, then Cavern Clay is your answer. Moving on, let's discuss what are the best trim paint colors to go with Sherwin Williams Redend Point. As usual, I think by now you know what my favorite to go trim paint color is. But again, I would like to discuss it all over again. My favorite to go color with Sherwin Williams Redend Point would be Sherwin Williams Pure White for the trims, moldings and ceilings. Sherwin Williams Pure White is a creamy neutral white paint color that makes your Redend Point looks much warmer, creamier and cohesive. Pure white is not very stark, just like high reflective white is, which would be my second option to go. High reflective white is a much stark, cleaner version, so that will make your Redend Point words protrude much further as compared to pure white. So especially in your homes, if you're looking to paint your living room, your bedrooms in Redend Point, I would say that you must go for pure white. But at the same time, if you are actually looking for a very stark contrast and a visually striking appeal, maybe high reflective white is your answer. Another thing that I would like to discuss about is, since you have Redend Point on the walls, pure white on the ceiling, window moldings, trims and baseboard, what paint color to go for your glass window frames? Well, if you have a transitional style and if you're not very fond of a lot of colors and if Redend Point is already very overwhelming in your place, I would recommend that you choose Sherwin Williams Pure White for the window frames as well. While at the same time, if you're looking for a sense of contrast, let's say if you have a modern style or if you have a contemporary style, you can even go for Tricon Black to paint on your window frames. Sherwin Williams Iron Ore is a big no-no here. It would easily blend in with this dark color. We need a much darker color like Tricon Black. It has an LRV of 3. We need such dark colors to be on the window frame so that they can actually create a very striking appeal. You can also check out my latest pre-packaged Sherwin Williams Redend Point color palette for the whole house on my Etsy shop as well as my website. Unlike the previous Sherwin Williams color of the years like Naval, Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog or Bane Bronze, we know that this color may not be as versatile and cohesive as the previous years. And it is even true that not a lot of designers and homeowners have appreciated this paint colors. If you truly have an eye for this paint color, I would say that you must definitely go for it. Even though this color has been declared as the color of the year 2023, you're quite likely not to find a lot of inspiration online, but it is never too bad to experiment. Well, if you have the taste for it, then I must say that you should go for it. Now that we've discussed the various do's and don'ts related with the paint color, are you excited to use this paint color in your home? Well, if you're actually planning to use this paint color in your home, do drop some images or email them to me. I would actually love to see how this color turned up in your home. And before you actually start painting the walls, I would highly recommend that you samplize with samplize. These are peel and stick paint color samples that you can easily use on the walls to get the feel of each paint color in each space. Do check out my website at www.nishtasadana.com for in-depth color reviews, paint color guides, and interior decoration advice. Also, don't forget to check out my Etsy shop and website for digital pre-packaged color palettes to make it easier for you to paint your house. Lastly, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for a weekly dose of interior decoration, paint color, and paint color reviews. See you all next time. Bye.